Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you and your dear ones are safe. A very warm welcome to Vivo's first event of 2021. We often say that good brands are those who respond to the times, but the great brands are those who stand the test of times. And great brands become great because they have a clear sense of purpose. A purpose which is bigger than the immediate business interests. And we at Vivo are strongly driven by our why. The why of Vivo's existence. And this why is in creating joyful connections through simplified technology. Simply put, we want to make the world a more joyous place through our products, services, and behaviors. And in today's day and age, what better way to create these joyous connections than through smartphones? And also within smartphones through great imaging capabilities. But before we move ahead, let me mention the why, the what, and the how of today's meeting. I'm sure some of you will also have some of these questions in your mind. Why does Vivo focus so much on camera? And what is our inspiration and motivation to do so? What goes behind our camera thinking? What do we do at the R&D front that makes us a leader in camera innovation? And how does this benefit our consumers? And tying all this together is our new global initiative of Vision Plus, which I will be introducing to you today. Also, to take a deeper look at these questions, I am joined by our global imaging experts who work at our R&D center in Shenzhen, China. Let me go a little deeper into Vision Plus. We derive great inspiration from what Australian photographer Peter Adams said. Great photography is about depth of feeling, not depth of field. The images we capture do not just show what things look like, they also express what we feel in our heart. Being able to record beauty is a beautiful thing in itself. And this is our inspiration too. We want images to record human emotions and culture, with a focus on reality and the present. On this note, I'm also pleased to introduce you to Vision Plus. Vision Plus is a global initiative that reaffirms our long-term commitment to leadership in mobile photography technology. Today, mobile phones are not only a means of connection, they're also a canvas for us to express ourselves. And images are the most important means of such expression. In a world where 500,000 images, yes, 500,000 images are born every second, we can only imagine that in the near future, expressing ourselves through images will be as important as expressing ourselves through text. Therefore, Vivo is committed to providing everyone better tools to express themselves. It is our vision for humanity as a technology brand and our cultural responsibility as a consumer brand. Humanity is an important part of the message conveyed through images. And this is how Vision Plus was born. Joy image is the core spirit of Vision Plus. We believe that only images that touch our hearts are able to fully embody the meaning of joy. Before we move ahead, please join me in watching a short video that describes the essence of Vision Plus.
Look through the window. What do you see? The moments, memorable moments. They live, love, explore, and dream. See with your heart. Go see things differently. Choose to live in the moment. To understand what our life means. Document our life through photography and discover stories between the lights and shadows. Vivo Vision Plus. Joy Image.
Through Vision Plus, we aspire to build a visual content ecosystem for mobile photography enthusiasts. It will enable us to walk with you through the journey of education, content co-creation, and cultural exchanges. There are 4 key pillars of Vivo Vision Plus. The Vivo Vision Plus Mobile Photography Awards were launched globally in partnership with National Geographic. The details of the 2021 edition of these awards will be shared in the near future. The Vivo Vision Plus Mobile Photography Academy is a photography education initiative that aims to bring an artistic and cultural exchange platform closer to you. The Academy will invite world-class photographers to conduct masterclasses to inspire you to transcend from clicking images to capturing moments filled with emotions and feelings. Through the Vivo Vision Plus Photographers Federation, we hope to collaborate with more creators to explore the limitless possibilities of mobile photography, which will ultimately contribute to advancements and developments in Vivo products. And to improve the imaging experience for our consumers, we have recently announced a strategic partnership with Zeiss. Zeiss, as you know, is a distinguished player and a pioneer in the field of professional and mobile imaging. As part of this partnership, Zeiss imaging technology will be enjoyed by many more consumers. Together, we will co-engineer an imaging system for Vivo's premium smartphones, starting with the upcoming Vivo X60 series. Vivo and Zeiss share the same goals. We have an allied focus on premium technology and cutting-edge design. With joint development and co-engineering of optical components with Zeiss, we are confident that we will enjoy several great years of cooperation, thus providing consumers worldwide with a more appealing, easier to use, and more professional mobile photography experience. Georg Schmitz, head of Zeiss Consumer Products, sends his wishes for this project through a short video. Let's have his message.
Many milestones of imaging are forever linked with Zeiss and part of human mankind. Zeiss loves imaging, be it in space, on Earth, at work and home, while traveling, in science and education, for sharing on social media, or for keeping our private memories for friends and family. Bringing the latest technology for imaging to premium smartphones is a venture we happily support because it affects the life and leisure of so many million people every day. On behalf of the entire Zeiss Consumer Products team, I would like to take the opportunity to thank our new partner Vivo. It is an honor and a pleasure to work together with you with the certainty that we share the same high quality standards, the will to go forward and to strive for providing users with excellent tools for great imaging experience.
I hope all of you are as excited as we are to bring this partnership to life. I would now like to introduce my colleague Keshav Chugh. Keshav looks after the camera effect tuning and localization for India and other markets. he has promised me that he would take us behind the scenes and tell us about Vivo's concept of the image, the work our R&D centers are doing globally, and how we go about consumer research in India. Over to you, Keshav.
Thank you so much, Nipun. Hi everyone, I'm so glad to be here. I'm the product manager for image effects at the Image Cognition Product Center at Vivo, handling the camera effect tuning and localization for India and other overseas markets. Today, I want to share with you something that is at the core of our thinking, our imaging philosophy. Vivo is a consumer-oriented brand in everything we do. The core pursuit of Vivo Imaging is to create a pleasant imaging experience for consumers. How do we integrate imaging product functions, effects, operations, as well as factors like smoothness and stability to form user experiences? How do we make sure these experiences meet user expectations and are pleasant? These are the most important questions we seek to answer at Vivo Imaging. Through a lot of consumer research and discussions with the academic community, we found that the images mean two things to consumers. Firstly, images record and reproduce the objective world. They represent and reproduce our rational self and show our relationship with the world. Secondly, images show our subjective world. They reflect our inner emotions, our understanding, and expectations of ourselves and the world. They have emotional values that transcend what is real, a perfect union of left and right brain functions. Keywords to remember here are objective and subjective world, to reproduce and also to transcend. We sum these up as reproduce what the eye see and transcend what the eye see. However, neither is easy to do. We need powerful hardware such as excellent lenses and photosensors. And we need to learn the complete process and technology from the professional imaging industry. Then, we need to transform our know-how into products that fulfill our consumers' needs. For mobile phones, this means that from optics, platforms to algorithms, every factor has to be outstanding. At Vivo, for every generation of our products, the process always begins with consumer research. Over the past 3 years, we have met tens of thousands of consumers spanning the length and breadth of India, covering 300 plus districts in 26 states. During this time, we carried out about 200 ethnographic studies, more than 1,000 in-depth interviews, focus group discussions, and countless consumer tests to understand different aspects of consumer lifestyle and behavior. Out of this, more than 100 in-depth interviews and focus group discussion along with dozens of expert interviews with professional photographers were focused on decoding consumers' specific needs and behaviors related to photography. This involved talking to consumers across diverse cultures, age groups, socio-economic class, and varied occupations. This has enabled us to develop a holistic understanding of Indian smartphone consumers. However, such understanding is just raw material that cannot be used directly for product development. For instance, we understand that consumer wants to have good colors, but what is good? It's extremely subjective. Is it richer, lighter, warmer, or cooler? This is where our cognition team comes in. Professional photographers and photo retouching experts from the team use their understanding and transform information from this research into products. After distilling such key insights from our extensive consumer research, we have identified a few focus areas. These are colors, night HDR, portrait, sports, zoom, and image stabilization. You might have seen the result of our focus in a few of our products that have been launched in the recent years. In order to keep innovating and delighting our customers, every time we have invested in extremely strong R&D capabilities around the world. To date, we have built 700 strong imaging team. Since 2017, we have established 7 imaging R&D centers around the world in global hubs where talent and technical resources are concentrated. They devote all their full attention to the research and development of image-related software and hardware technologies. As the COVID situation improves, we hope to get you to connect with our colleagues from some of these R&D centers too. For now, let me introduce these centers and what we do here. The Dongguan R&D Center has the largest number of senior engineers and is equipped with the comprehensive lab facilities. Since Dongguan has the world's largest and most complete industrial chain of optical devices and photosensors, this center is responsible for the design and development of such units. The Shenzhen R&D Center is responsible for planning and defining of imaging products, as well as the system software development. The Tokyo R&D Center is responsible for the technical research and development of optical units and photosensors. The leading specialists here have worked with well-known semiconductor and camera companies. The San Diego R&D Center in the US taps into the resources of Silicon Valley. It is responsible for the planning and designing of platforms and ISP chips. The Taipei R&D Center is mainly responsible for pioneering research into new imaging technologies. Hangzhou and its surrounding areas are where China's best algorithm developers and research institutions are based. As such, the Hangzhou R&D Center undertakes the important task of developing imaging algorithms. Its achievements include the well-known Super HDR, Super Night, Portrait and AI Face Beauty algorithms. And finally, the Shanghai R&D Center focuses on adjusting imaging effects of select flagship smartphones. To summarize, it is not that one person or one team or one country is responsible for the camera. It is a result of collective work undertaken by hundreds of people across locations that are responsible for capturing the most important moments of life in a blink of an eye and preserve them forever. Thank you for having me here, and I look forward to meeting you all in person when the situation permits.
Thank you, Keshav. That was a very insightful session. Hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. But I want to know more. We also received a tremendous response from all of you when we asked you to share questions on Vivo's camera thinking. I will now be asking questions on your behalf. Let's see what the image experts have to say. In this session, I will also be joined by Win Go, the image product manager at our R&D center in Shenzhen, China. Win focuses on Vivo overseas image products, especially for the India market. Now let me welcome Win and Keshav. Let's get to the first question. Cameras are core to our products. We would love to know, what do we think when we think about cameras? How do we approach photography?
Thank you, Nipon. What a way to start this conversation. The well-known social psychologist Maslow once conducted an in-depth analysis of human needs, the Maslow mode, which covers the most basic safety to the highest self-actualization. We applied the same theory to imaging, and we discovered 3 levels of consumer needs: safety, satisfaction, and superiority. Night photography is most challenging for a smartphone. Let's take this as an example to understand this concept better. When taking pictures at night, safety means to clearly reproduce what is before the eyes. Satisfaction goes one step further. It escapes what we say and makes the impossible possible, such as showing extreme detail and tolerance. Superiority is to project our emotions and culture using imagination and creativity to create the ultimate results that translate what the eyes see, providing consumers the final images that are unique. Based on this structure, we break up with our night image functions into 3 levels: regular night vision, extreme night vision, and astral mode. To make all these 3 functions across 3 levels work well, we need great lenses, photosensors, stabilization, and algorithms, all of them. The X50 came with OS as a standard, and the X50 Pro also featured Vivo's gimbal system for the first time. The largest lens aperture was f1.6, along with many industry breakthroughs and innovations in photosensors and algorithms.
That was really a very, very interesting answer. I'm sure Maslow would be very happy seeing his theories now being used into photography and technology. Okay, let's get to the second question. Our media friends also asked us from the component standpoint if you could tell us about how image processing works.
Thank you, Nipun. We just discussed about the X50 and its class-leading innovations in photosensors and algorithms. Let's take a look at the photosensor first. Through the traditional red, green and blue color filters, a single pixel actually has a complex multi-layered structure. If we peek inside a pixel to see from top to bottom, we can see a microlens, a color filter array, which is also a CFA, a photodiode with grids on both sides, a circuit layer and a base. Among them, the CFA and grid have direct impact on photosensitivity. The well-known Bayer filter is a type of CFA. It breaks light passing through the lens into the three primary colors of red, green and blue. How much light passes through this layer directly impacts how many photons can be absorbed by the photodiode. Vivo found a new way to increase the amount of light passing through CFA. By cooperating with Sony, we brought this technology to consumers 2 years in advance in the first IMX598 sensor on the X50 series. Let's take a look at some actual data. The dotted line represents the photosensitivity of the sensors of the same specifications and the solid line represents of IMX598. There is a clear increase of 10 to 12%. Moving on to the grid, an excellent grid can reduce noise crosstalk between adjacent pixels. Yet it is something that's very difficult to produce. Through a joint collaboration with Samsung, we developed the GN1 sensor, which was introduced in the X50 Pro Plus. With an enhanced grid to reduce the crosstalk between RGB channels, GN1 provides the purest output signal among photosensors of the same specifications.
That was a lot of detail about image processing that even I did not know. Thanks a lot for sharing. Now, I have an even trickier question for you guys. Are we planning any new camera innovations to be launched in 2021?
Of course, both IMX598 and GN1 only represent the beginning of Vivo's R&D efforts in photosensors. We are constantly pursuing important research areas with our partners. Today, I present to you a new technology that will have a significant impact on photosensor performance in the future. As mentioned earlier, color filter array or CFA is very important in a photosensor. In order to improve photosensitivity, CFA technology evolved from Bayer, called Bayer, to RYYB. But their limitations are still obvious. So, what's the next step? The answer is RGBW. RGBW is the new CFA arrangement, which groups the three primary colors of RGB into RWWR, GWWG, and BWWE. This brings a significant leap in photosensitivity and solves the problems of color cast that is common in the RYYB area. RGBW has the same 4-in-1 features of the quad Bayer filter. It leads to both a large pixel area and a high total pixel volume. Okay, I'm sure you want to know the real difference RGBW makes. Well, as the new W filter is a transparent filter covering the entire visible light spectrum, it increases photosensitivity of each W pixel, far better than the sub-pixels in the RGB mode, increasing the overall sensitivity to 160%. The first Vivo phone with RGBW sensor will be mass-produced in the second half of this year. It will bring a new level of performance and image quality.
So many details behind a single picture. Amazing. We know it is not just hardware that matters. So my next question is now about software. I want to know, what is the software wizardry that goes behind making this industry-leading hardware even more magical? Can you please give us some more details?
In smartphone photography, hardware upgrades are important. but algorithms are also critical. Our R&D center in Hangzhou has created excellent night photography algorithms, helping us fulfill the promise of reproduce and transcend what the eyes see. Let's talk about the self-adaptive noise reduction model first. We all know that photosensors have complicated noise issues, particularly in challenging light environments. No matter what noise reduction method you use, the overlap of color noise, thermal noise, and brightness noise remains a big headache. By analyzing noise on various levels of illuminance and dynamic ranges and the influence of circuit wiring design, we came up with an adaptive noise reduction model that combines static noise calibration and real-time dynamic noise estimation. And we tested each type of photosensor using more than 100 units of each to ensure that the noise model is accurate and reliable. Let the images speak for themselves. This is a night photo with clear contrast and detail. Let's zoom in. You can see that the picture is very clean. Detail of the rocks, buildings, and water reflections are very well preserved. We often say that we should keep our feet down on earth while looking up the stars. The starry sky inspires big ideas and romantic feelings, yet it is not easy to be recorded on camera. A good opportunity may only come once in a lifetime, but once you capture it, it deserves to be remembered forever. Not too long ago, comet Neowise flew past Earth, which happens once in 6,800 years. It was a photo opportunity not to be missed. Astro Mode is how we fulfill our promise to help users inject emotions into images. What you are looking at now is comet Neowise captured by photographers using the X50 series. A lot of photographers have come up to me and asked how Astro Mode makes the stars and ground clear while making moving clouds, airplanes and comets look dynamic. Well, the most important thing when shooting the starry sky is focus. Experienced photographers will manually adjust focus instead of just focusing to infinity. Our engineers did the same thing. They made fine focus adjustments for different sensors and lens modules to ensure that every X50 phone can capture the stars clearly. In addition, most noise reduction algorithms will eliminate some stars from the image by mistake. To avoid this, we use a big data learning to allow the algorithm to tell exactly which are the stars, which are dead pixels and noise. So you can get a beautiful sky full of stars. In addition, we use semantic segmentation to separate the starry sky and the ground to offset the blur caused by the rotation of the Earth. Through a starry sky alignment algorithm that is precise right to the pixel level and multi-frame merging, we make sure that the starry sky and ground are equally clear.
Thank you so much, Keshav and Vin, for joining us today and sharing valuable insights from the R&D team. We look forward to interacting with you in the future.
Thanks for having us here.
Thank you.
So here we conclude the first part of today's event. We hope you enjoyed the why, the what, and the how of Vivo's imaging and mobile photography technology. Now the house is open to questions. Just please ensure and remember that any question related to Vivo in India, our thinking, our strategy, I will be able to answer right away. Questions pertaining to R&D, we will get back to you shortly.
Mukesh, I think you have a question.
I have a question. सर आपने कहा कि टोक्यो समथिंग यहाँ पे टोक्यो पे यहाँ कुछ रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट हुआ है एंड ओप्पो सेड द सेम थिंग कि टोक्यो उनका भी एक कैमरा इनोवेशन रिसर्च जो है R&D अभी टोक्यो से हुआ। तो ओप्पो एंड वीवो के इस कैमरा इनोवेशन में जो कि दोनों टोक्यो में ही हुआ है, तो क्या डिफरेंस क्या है?
Okay. So Mukesh ji, I think आपका question है as far as the Tokyo R&D center is concerned. आपने बताया वीवो वहाँ पे R&D कर रहे हैं और सिमिलरली आपने मेरे से पूछा है कि ओप्पो भी वहाँ पे R&D एफर्ट्स अपने कर रहे हैं, तो डिफरेंस क्या है दोनों के R&D में? इज दैट द क्वेश्चन?
यस सर।
ओके ओके देखिए ओप्पो के R&D एफर्ट्स के बारे में मैं ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं जानता. As far as vivo R&D center is concerned in Tokyo, Tokyo is a hub and which is leading in imaging technology. और जैसे केशव ने बताया वहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा रिसर्च एक लार्ज टैलेंट पूल अवेलेबल है, and therefore we are tapping into the talent pool, tapping into the whole ecosystem which is available, and that is what we are doing in our R&D center in Tokyo.
ऐसा इधर हाल के दिनों में रिसेंटली हमने देखा है कि वीवो जो है वो लॉट ऑफ फोकस जो है वो कैमरा पे कर रहा है. एनी
Sorry, please come again. Please come again.
सिर्फ वीवो ने कैमरा सेंट्रिक मतलब काफी फोकस रहा है कैमरा पे. एनी
हाँ जी
स्पेसिफिक
सर.
रीजन बिहाइंड ऑफ दैट कि क्या रीजन है कि कैमरा पे ही इतना फोकस किया जा रहा है?
ओके ओके बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा आपने कि कैमरा पे हमारा इतना फोकस क्यों है. दिस गोज बैक टू द वाई ऑफ द ब्रांड. जैसे वाई में हम कहते हैं व्हाट इज द रीजन फॉर वीवोज एग्जिस्टेंस, और उसके बारे में मैं आपसे थोड़ा बात कर रहा था दैट द रीजन वाई we are focusing so much on camera is going back to our brand purpose, which is the core reason for our brand is the joy of humanity. That is the why. अगर मैं simple terms में बताऊं, इसका मतलब ये है we want to make the world a more joyous place. That is the core goal of Vivo. And how can we do that? We can do that by focusing a lot on camera, because we know what is camera today. Camera is everything when it comes to recording pictures, recording our moments, making simple moments as lifelong memories. That is what camera is today. So keeping all of these things in mind, हमने ये सोचा कि जब एक कैमरा ही एक ऐसा टूल है जिससे हम a lot of joy can be created. That's the reason we said we will focus a lot on camera, and this in a way will help us spread more joy amongst our consumers, and that is a larger brand purpose of Vivo, and that is how our purpose also gets fulfilled.
सर लास्ट 1 मंथ से अगर देखें तो Vivo X60 सीरीज का जो है वो काफी बातें हो रही हैं. सो कैन वी एक्सपेक्ट द Vivo X60 कैमरा जो है वो जो बाहर लॉन्च हुआ है या जो इंडिया में लॉन्च हुआ, क्या उसमें एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि डिफरेंट होगा? एंड वन मोर थिंग, क्या इस बार हम Vivo से 108 MP कैमरा देख सकते हैं?
ओके देखिए, जहाँ तक Vivo X60 की बात है, अगर हम X60 की बात करें तो पूरे इंडिया में इस टाइम काफ़ी ज़्यादा बज़ है अबाउट X60. So the only thing I can confirm to you right now is that we will see the X60 series launching in India in March. That's one confirmation I can give to you right away. For more details, I think we can keep interacting, keep discussing, and you will see, even more buzz about X60, around X60 in the near future.
And what about 108 camera?
हाँ जी, sir, I can't confirm it right now.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Mukesh. Thank you so much for your question. Nipun, we have another question from Swapnil. He asks, in the last year, what has been the biggest trend you have seen emerging in the smartphone camera space? The question is from Swapnil.
Okay. Hi, Swapnil. Thank you so much for asking this question. The question is around what is the biggest trend that we have observed as far as 2020 is concerned. I would say the biggest trend that I'm observing right now is the extreme focus and the extreme demand from the consumer on how we can avoid shaking, how we can give anti-shake features, how we can give features which can control movement of the hand while clicking pictures. Not everybody is a professional photographer, right? And that is where extra technology and the value add of a brand like Vivo comes in. And I think this was very beautifully done in the Vivo X50 Pro, where we launched the industry's first gimbal inside a phone. And the moment we launched it, the kind of stabilization it offered, which was the core need. And I think that has really become a trend where more and more consumers have come back to us and given us this feedback that this technology of super stability, of gimbal stabilization is absolutely amazing, and can we see more of it in the upcoming days? So to answer your question, the biggest trend I have seen is extra demand or demand for extra stability in smartphone cameras.
Thank you, Nipun. We have another question from Stuti. She asks, what is the role that India R&D played in the development of this technology? And the second part of the question is, there is a lot of discussion on component manufacturing in India. What is Vivo on its own and with partners doing in this direction? This is from Stuti from PTI.
Okay. Thank you very much, Stuti, for this question. See, the first part, which is what has been India's role in the development of camera. I think the answer lies in where we are doing our business. We are doing our business in India. We are serving Indian consumers. So therefore, the most important part which we are doing here in India is researching at the ground level. Keshav showed you, a couple of numbers where we said more than 1,000, focus group discussions have been done. 300 districts in the country have been covered. So all of this research is being done by the India team in India, going from corner to corner of the country. And I think that is a big value add, which is right now happening, where we are understanding what are the nuances which the Indian consumers care about. What are the situations, the lightings, which are individual only to India. So these are things, the finer nuances which make the difference between good and great photography. And this good to great journey is being covered because of the extensive research efforts which the Indian team is putting in. So therefore, whatever you see as output, whether it is the V20 or the X50 Pro, you can very well understand, very well assume that a lot of research, a lot of inputs from consumers, from research team has gone into designing this particular product. So this is the journey of good to great, which the research team is helping us fulfill. So that, I hope that answers the first question, which is what is the input from the R&D team in India. The second part is on components. So as you already know, Vivo is deeply committed to the whole thing of India commitment, whether it is our employment, in which right now as we speak, we have 10,000 people working in our factory, right, and making phones for India, making phones which are being sold in India. You already know this also, that all the phones which we are selling in India, each one of them is produced in our Greater Noida factory. So 100% of the phones which are sold in India are made in India. So that is how deep our commitment is to manufacturing. Time and time again, we have also expanded our manufacturing facilities and our manufacturing capacities. And in the near future, as and when we feel there is a need to expand our manufacturing, we will even do that. On the component side also, it is a continuous journey. We are continuously working towards it, that how we can increase our localization, how we can ensure that the government of India's larger initiative of Atmanirbhar Bharat, how Vivo can play a very important and a very significant role in that. So we will, we are totally committed to the Make in India program. We're totally committed to India, and we will continue to do that.
Thank you, Nipun. The next question is from Zia Askari. He asks, is there any specific camera feature that Vivo is bringing, keeping in mind the strong work from home and study from home trend that we are seeing?
Okay. Thank you, Zia. So I would say it's not only work from home and study from home. It is even eating from home, entertainment at home, socializing at home. Right now, almost everything was at home. So see, what we have understood from here, Zia, and I'll just take one step back and then give this answer, is we have understood that there are three kinds of core needs of consumers, or three kinds of consumers. The first are consumers who are clicking pictures for self-expression. They are people, who are clicking pictures because they want to, show to the world, a particular facet of their personality. That is self-expression. The second kind of pictures, the second kind of people I have seen, who are clicking pictures, are pictures being clicked for everyday moments, or making everyday small moments delightful, right? So we call it delight every moment photography. The third kind of people we have seen, who are clicking pictures, are for visual storytelling. These are pictures, people who click these pictures so that they can tell to the whole world their perspective about what they are seeing. Both of us may be seeing the same glass, right? Or both of us may be seeing the same mountain or being at the same location, but both of us will click very, very different pictures. And that is the art of visual storytelling. So self-expression, number one, everyday moments, number two, and visual storytelling as number three. So we have seen, these three kind of people, and all these three kinds of people have different kinds of needs when it comes to, photography, and that is what we are addressing. So it's not only about working from home or studying from home. I think it is so much about what each consumer wants, and can we deliver that to the consumer. So the self-expression person, what will he or she want? It will be so much about selfie. How can I get the best selfie, right? The best maybe selfie moments. Can you go one step further, even tell me what poses I want, or what poses I should be, clicking the picture in or clicking the selfie in. The everyday moment person, what kind of picture will this person click? Even this person will click selfies, but the selfies will not only be about self-expression, or less about self-expression and more about maybe I'm with my friend, with my family, having a nice dinner. So pictures will be more in that zone. The third is visual storytelling, which is mostly the the function of rear camera, where the rear camera's prowess comes into the picture, where you have the best of the scenes in front of you. Keshav gave a wonderful example of the starry sky. Now you want to tell that story of the starry sky through your mobile camera, but can you do that, right? And if you're able to do that, your story goes to another level. So these three kinds of people have three different needs, and that is how we are making our phones and addressing these needs.
Thank you, Nipun. We have one last question, which is, what was the thought process of the brand behind the Vision Plus initiative? If you could let us know that.
Okay. So good. You've asked this question on why Vision Plus in the first place. So see, again, why Vision Plus comes from the why of the brand. When we talk about every day or giving joy to the maximum number of people through simplified technology, right? That is the purpose of brand vivo. So how can this joy be given, right? This joy can be given through great cameras, as we just discussed. So when we understood that what is the core need right now, all our researchers pointed to three key directions. The first direction was education. We are making great camera phones, and people are getting very adept at clicking beautiful pictures, but we certainly feel that there is a gap there, the gap of upskilling people, of enhancing their knowledge and skills on mobile photography. I want to click a beautiful picture. If through small inputs I can improve them further, I will be very happy. So the first need gap we found was education of mobile photography. Second is elevation. What is elevation? The mobile cameras today have really gone to the next level. 2 years back, I don't think anybody could have imagined a gimbal inside a phone, or being able to imagine clicking a comet which comes once every 6,000 years, right? Nobody could have imagined this, but it is possible today. So this is the role of elevation. You guys know it today because we told it to you, but does the world in general know this? They don't know. So this is about elevation, where we tell the world what is really possible out there through mobile cameras. The third is reward. A lot of people today are clicking wonderful pictures, wonderful storytelling is being done through the cameras. But we also believe there is a platform which we can give, where people can come, submit their entries, and we can select the best in the world out there, who are clicking pictures through mobile cameras. So these three things, education, elevation, and reward, are the foundations on which we built the Vivo Vision Plus philosophy. And on that, you see the 4 pillars of Vivo Vision Plus, which includes the photography award, which includes the masterclass, which includes the photography federation, etc., etc. So that is the core philosophy of Vision Plus, where we are giving a platform to all the mobile photography enthusiasts to educate themselves, elevate their horizons about what is possible in mobile photography, and also participate and win handsome prizes because of the wonderful pictures they click.
Thank you so much, Nipun. And I would also like to thank the media for joining in for the Vision Plus launch. Nipun, if you could, if you would want to end the session.
Sure. So thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you understood the why of the brand Vivo, and not just brand Vivo, Vision Plus also, where we talked about the why, the how, and the what. What are we doing? Why are we doing so much focus, or why are we putting so much focus on mobile photography? We hope this session was insightful for you, and thank you so much for sparing your time and joining us. Thank you very much.